Hey, it's Coach Anderson from Mississippi Public Broadcasting Online, and we're here today to talk to you a little bit more about ACT reading. And we've been talking to you about how important, of course, it is to take every opportunity to do as good as you could possibly do when it comes to ACT reading. When you look at those four sections, of course, on ACT, one of the sections that affords you an opportunity to improve your score quite a bit, of course, is going to be ACT reading, provided, of course, that you do some of the tips or take some of the tips and techniques, of course, that we're going to introduce to you. We think that you can find great success when it comes to ACT and improve your composite score so that you can get as much of that free scholarship money as you can get and also get into whatever university or college, of course, that you desire throughout this great United States of ours. Today we're going to talk about skimming for ACT reading success. In previous lessons I talked to you a little bit about skimming, and I told you we were going to go into some greater detail and try to give you some insights in how skimming of course can be used to help you improve your score. So lesson 4, we're going to look at effective strategies to maximize comprehension specifically through the use of skimming. What is skimming? That's one of those things, of course, that we've heard, of course, throughout our time, of course, in school. Skimming is quickly reading through a passage to get the main idea. When skimming, students should focus on identifying key terms and look for structure and organization of the passage. And we're going to get into even when we start going over each one of those 4 types of passages, when we start diving a little bit in depth to those, we're going to ask you to do some of these skimming techniques, of course, and prioritize creating a strategy utilizing skimming and some of the other things that we're going to introduce to help you maximize your success. Benefits of skimming on the ACT. Skimming increases better time management and reading comprehension. One of the big problems, of course, with ACT reading is you have 35 minutes, 40 questions, and you have 4 types of passages. So it's going to be very difficult, and some of those passages it could be, anywhere from 500 words to, 500 or more words. So in looking at that, it is difficult for even the best of readers, of course, to get through these passages and answer these questions completely and fully. But what we're going to try to do, of course, is by introducing you to skimming, put you in a position where you can better attack these questions and utilize your time a little wiser. Skimming reduces anxiety by making reading less overwhelming and prepares students for answering detail-oriented questions efficiently. Effective skimming techniques. You should read titles and subtitles for passage and passage context and structure. Look specifically at first and last sentences of paragraphs, which often contain main ideas. One of the things that helps me tremendously when I'm reading passages, instead of reading the entire passage, sometimes what I'll do, of course, is just go through and look at underline the first sentence, of course, of the first passage, and then the last sentence of the first passage, and then the first passage for each of the preceding paragraphs, of course, that follow. So what I was saying passages, but I meant paragraphs. So make sure that at the beginning of the paragraph and the end of the first paragraph, I always underline those, and then the first sentence of the preceding paragraph, and that usually helps me quite a bit. You should identify key words, highlight transitions and signal words like however, in addition, etc. Use visuals for quick understanding like graphs or charts for quick understanding. And then what you should also do, of course, is make some notes of those things, of course, in the margins, of course, of the test booklet. Practice skimming. Skimming is like any other skill. It takes practice, so utilize free ACT reading passages and go to town. The more you use it, the better you get at doing it. Practice makes perfect, but perfect practice is what we're striving for. Once again, this is Coach Anderson from Mississippi Public Broadcasting Online, and one of the things that we're trying to do, of course, is help you increase your ACT score. And the best way that we think that you can do that, of course, is by improving your score when it comes to ACT reading. And the best way to do that, of course, is pay attention to some of the reading techniques like skimming that we reviewed, and try to formulate your own strategy. Remember, we talked about creating a game plan. So create your own game plan, and at the heart of that game plan, let's make skimming, of course, one of those important parts of it. This is Coach Anderson from Mississippi Public Broadcasting Online, and we'll see you next time where we'll talk a little bit about active reading.